The way that I look at this around the issue of opportunity cost is we really have to understand our data before we can even start this conversation, right? So I talk to so many charities that they understand at a very high level what their revenue looks like, but they might not understand which of my revenue channels is most profitable, right? Or which of my revenue channels delivers the highest value donors. And then even beyond that, within a channel, let's take digital, for example. Within the digital arena, if you will, there's email acquisition, there's paid search, there's programmatic display and audio and video, there's paid social. Each of those sub channels within the digital arena is going to bring donors on at different average gift, at different volumes of donors, and at different relative lifetime values. If we don't understand the nuances of each of those, we can't start to have a conversation about opportunity cost. And at the same time, on the direct mail side, for example, I also want to know not just does a Thanksgiving acquisition produce more donors at a higher value than a spring, Easter acquisition. I want to know if I mailed 10 lists, which one of those has the highest value. And so when you understand the financial metrics at that level, then we can start to say, well, wait a minute. If we're investing, say, $100 to get a $300 donor, where else could I invest $100 that can get me more value than 300, right? And so I was having this conversation with a client recently where we said, you're spending almost $1 million to acquire new donors every year. And yet you have a high number of donors who have a likelihood to give you a much bigger gift that are already giving to you, and they've been giving for years. So why wouldn't we take $100,000 or $200,000 out of that expense budget for acquisition and hire a major gift officer? Because within 18 to 24 months, that person will be able to generate revenue for you at anywhere from 12 to 20 to 1 return on investment. But in acquisition, you're not even going to reach 3 to 1 in the next 24 months. So when we think about like the time value of money and how that impacts our ability to grow our mission, if I can shift those dollars into something that's going to get me 10 to 20 times the return in a 2 to 3 year period, that's a no-brainer, right? And we would still say you should invest to replace attrition and to provide net growth in your file, but not at the expense of not being able to invest in something that's going to get you 10 to 20 times the return on investment in that same time period, right? That's how we look at it. And I always ask the question, like, to spend my next dollar, where's the most effective place to put it? Right. And that's the question that I want our clients to challenge us with, and that I would encourage others to challenge their agencies and their consulting partners is, don't just tell me what you want to spend next year. Tell me where the best place is to spend that next incremental dollar.